welcome. Hello, beautiful people. It's Kendra with Soulful Success by Design. And I wanted to hop on today and just have a conversation with you about breakthrough versus transformation. And I wanted to talk about this because I've discovered that there is a distinct difference between breakthrough, between transformation. And just here recently, I've really made the personal choice consciously, although I think my whole life I've lived this way, but consciously I have made the choice to devote my life to transformation, to transformation of myself, and also devoting my life to really helping my clients, my community, the people that are in my audience on their journey of transformation. And so I want to speak to this and have a conversation with you about this, and maybe even, would love to hear your insights, would love to hear what comes up for you when you think of breakthrough versus transformation, and begin a conversation around this. So I wanted to talk about this because one of the things that I've noticed in my business and working with my clients is that when you make the decision that you want to change something about yourself, that you want to evolve yourself, grow yourself, up-level yourself, take yourself to the next level, whatever you want to call it, when you decide that you want to do that, it's important to know the difference between a breakthrough and transformation. I have noticed that transformation is something that happens over the course of time. It's not something that happens in 2 weeks necessarily. It's not something that happens in a month or 2 months. And when I say this, I want to be very clear. I'm talking about like sustainable transformation. Because sure, there's the option of doing some kind of work or, inner work or whatnot in a program or a course or whatnot, and transforming yourself like while you're in that container, while you're in that package, while you're working with that coach. And then after the program is over, you're like finding yourself a week or two later, reverting back to old ways, reverting back to old patterns, new beliefs, limiting beliefs, and things coming up inside of you that are not in alignment with where you want to go, right? So my belief is I really am focused on sustainable transformation. It's the same thing like in the wellness industry when people talk about releasing weight or losing weight. You don't want to just lose the weight and then 6 months later you put it back on, right? Like you don't want to do that. You want to release the weight and then you want to maintain that and maintain where you're at and stay, at that place or maybe even better, but you don't want to go back to where you were before. And what I find sometimes is that even just like in the diet and wellness industry, there's this topic about yo-yo dieting and your weight kind of fluctuating back and forth. I believe the same concept can be applied to transformational work, right? To personal development work. You can get on this kick where you're kind of addicted to like piecemealing your transformation together. And while you're doing that, it's like you're just kind of yo-yoing back and forth, right? You do something for a month or two and then you're like, all right, I'm good. And you go, you move away from that. And then all of a sudden you start creeping back into your old ways and old patterns. And so that's why I believe that true transformation is something that happens over a lifetime. It really becomes like a lifestyle. And then when I think of breakthroughs are the things that, they can happen every single day. If you're into this kind of work where you're into working with your internal environment and shifting your limiting beliefs and, up-leveling yourself in personal development and all that, that's your thing and that's your jam, your breakthroughs can happen like every single day, like breakthrough. But then with the breakthrough, transformation comes with that, but then it's like, what do you do to make sure that you can maintain that transformation? I hope this is making sense. because it made sense in my head, and now I'm saying it out loud. I'm like, I hope this makes sense. And so there's a difference there. So in my business, for example, the way that I have my business set up is I do have courses and programs and master classes and things that people can, can buy and get into and really create some amazing results for themselves and really create some amazing breakthroughs and awarenesses and insights. But then I have another level where it's like, okay, if you're ready to now take all those breakthroughs and insights and awarenesses and you're really ready to begin to mold your life around these breakthroughs, around these transformations that around these breakthroughs that you've had, so that you can transform your life, and you're ready to do that now, you're ready to step into that phase, then there's the next level, right? There's a level where we get to work together closely and we get to really unravel some things and really shift some behaviors and do that kind of work. And so there's a difference between breakthrough and transformation. I find them both highly valuable, right? There was a point in my journey where I began to consciously do the work on myself. And so because of this, I was beginning to have all these different breakthroughs. I was beginning to have all these amazing insights that I didn't realize, that I wasn't aware of before. And because of that awareness, because of those breakthroughs, it led me to wanting to take those things deeper and really create just complete transformation in my life, so that my life looks completely different than what it did before. So another example, I find this happening with human design. You all know that I am a human design guide, and I do human design readings for individuals who are ready to, get off of the rabbit hole of Googling all the things about human design, and they're ready to actually figure out, okay, how do I really begin to implement this, my design, into my life? And with that, what I've witnessed is when I do a human design reading, so many light bulbs go off, so many aha moments, so many, insights begin to show up for my clients. I notice that there's this validation that, this validating energy that shows up, because the person's like, yeah, this is how I've always felt this was right for me, or yes, I absolutely do this, but I questioned it, or yeah, that way has always felt better for me, but I thought I needed to do it this way. And then when they realize that they were actually created to do it the way that they thought was not the correct way, it's like, wow, this is life-changing, because now they can see themselves in a different light. But then the real transformation comes when you then take that information, those insights and those breakthroughs, and then you begin to apply them consistently in your life over the course of time, to begin to transform all the things around you, to begin to transform how you show up in your business. Maybe you transform, your body. Maybe you transform your thought life and how you think about things. That's the process, right? So sometimes we can stay stuck in this loop of just, again, wanting to just get that quick breakthrough, that quick aha, that quick insight. And I feel like that lends itself to the world that we live in, where everything is about instant gratification. I need to know now, right? In business, it's like, tell me how to have my 10K month now. What are the things I need to do, right? And so then we can get stuck in this cycle of oh, okay, I just need the breakthrough. I just need the breakthrough. I just need the breakthrough. What really needs to be happening is the full-on transformation of it all. And that takes time. So then the question becomes, are you willing to invest your energy in the long term, in your full transformation? Or do you want to stay over here and keep moving on this cycle of getting these instant gratifying hits of a breakthrough or an insight, but then falling back to how things used to be before, that you're not really happy with, right? So I wanted to have this conversation because I think it's important to see the distinction between the two, and to maybe even just tune into yourself and say, okay, where am I at on this? Am I just on this journey of just breakthrough after breakthrough, and nothing's really being rooted and being held on to? Or am I here where, yes, I am taken these things that I've received through my breakthroughs and through my insights, and I am creating a complete transformation. I almost feel like that the breakthroughs are like the little ingredients that when you then put them together creates this amazing transformation, right? So when I do a human design reading, through that reading and through me sharing with you about your unique energetic design, you can receive so many breakthroughs and insights, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And you get this instant hit of validation, this instant hit of like gratification. But then the next step is, okay, what do I now do with these little jewels and pearls of wisdom that you've given me? How do I then begin to implement them into my life so that I can create the transformation, right? If we liken this to cooking, when you're baking a cake, you have all these different ingredients, but it's only when you put them together in this beautiful way that you then are able to have something and create something completely transformed from what it used to be into something that can be enjoyed, and you can give it as a gift, or you could take pictures of it and display it. Like, it's all these different things you can do with it. And so that's how I see this progression from breakthrough to transformation. So again, I want to make sure I'm being clear here that, like, investing in yourself in a way to where you're receiving breakthroughs is wonderful. I want to highlight the fact that while you're getting these amazing breakthroughs and insights, begin to look at the longer term vision of like, okay, now that I have these insights, now that I have these breakthroughs, how am I now going to take this and apply it so that I can create the transformation that I desire to see in my life or in my business, right? So that's, I think, really the gist of what I wanted to share with you today is, don't be afraid of investing the time in your full and complete transformation. It is a day-by-day process. The other piece of this too is really giving yourself permission to allow yourself to receive the help that you may need to help you create that transformation. So there are definitely things that you can do on your own to create this sustainable transformation. But then there comes a point where you're like, all right, I get to raise my standard of this, and I get to find someone that can help me in this and support me in this. So for an example, being athletic, being active, exercising, being active is something that has been a consistent thread throughout my whole life, right? I've always been, when I was younger, I was always playing in sports, always, track, basketball. I did soccer for a little bit, but basketball was like the thing that, I carried throughout from 5th grade all the way into high school. So I was always active. I was always like lifting weights or doing something. And so that has stuck with me my whole entire life. So it's never been really an issue per se for me to get myself up and make sure that I do some yoga or go like running is something that I love doing. That's never really been an issue for me. But then I got to a point at the end of last year where I was like, okay, I'm ready to now take this to the next level. And I knew that I would need support in taking myself to that next level because there were some questions I need answered that I didn't know anything about, right? I wanted to understand more about how to properly do things when it came to, lifting weights, or I wanted to, get that validation that I was actually lifting the weights right, or that I was using the right amount of weight to support me. And so I hired myself a personal trainer. And so now twice a week, I go to my personal trainer, and she helps me, she creates these workouts for me. She helps me track, what I'm lifting. She helps me to perfect my form. And it's just taking things to the next level because my end result is I see the transformation that I really want to create in my body and also in my mind. And so I recruited that help. So those are just some examples, that I wanted to speak to today around breakthrough and transformation. So definitely, yes, focus on the breakthroughs. I'm all for that. I mean, I created a whole course around breakthroughs. It's called Break Through Your Limits. But then let's not sleep, or let's not be afraid to actually step into the space of creating real sustainable transformation for ourselves, right? So that is what I wanted to share with you today. I also wanted to let you know two things. Number one, if you are looking to invest in a human design reading, because again, you're tired of going down like the Google rabbit hole of trying to figure out all the things of human design and how it pertains to you, I do offer human design readings. I'll put the link for you to book that in the comments. Right now, my readings are $333, but they are going to be going up quite significantly within the next 30 days or so. So this is something that you've been wanting to do. Now will be the time to do that. And then the other thing that I wanted to make you aware of is my signature course, Break Through Your Limits, is going to be, I'm going to be launching that again within the next 30 to 45 days as well. And this is the work that we do when I'm talking about here. I really walk you through like my process that I created to help you really shift your limiting beliefs, release the things that aren't serving you. I share all kinds of tools and rituals and things that you can put in your toolbox to help yourself maintain the breakthrough. That is going to be coming in the next 30 to 45 days. So if you want to know more about that, if you want to make sure that you are, that you know when that launches, you can just send me a message and I'll make sure that you are one of the first to know when it launches. So thank you so much for being here. If you have questions, leave me a question in the comments and I'd be happy to address them. And if not, I will talk to you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.